Your topic is lost in translation. Lost in translation. Toastmaster Kapil Naresh.
Thank you. Quando va? Say who? Say suke? Say don. Contesto. Udero. Nato. More. Lost in translation. I didn't abuse anyone for the sake of credentials. I simply said in Japanese, good evening Toastmaster of the day, contest chair, judges, chief judges, timer, and all dear friends who came here to laugh. In 2002, I went to Japan. It was a 6-month stay because I was selected as one of the engineers to spend there and learn the Japanese management practices. And living in Japan is not an easy thing because Japan itself is a very unique country and with a unique set of challenges as well. Like the biggest challenge is that communication, and people don't speak English there. And if you have to speak English there, so you are in a big danger. It happened with me on the very first day when I was at airport and I wanted to have a coffee. So I went to a restaurant and I was vertically lost because the Japanese language doesn't go from right to left or left to right, it goes from top to down. So if you have to read anything, you have to read from top to down. You have to start again next sentence from top to down. You're completely vertically lost. So I thought, okay, let me just point a finger and check how much. So I pointed the finger and said, how much? The lady directed me to a seat and I felt very obliged that Japan is a very courteous country. Okay, let me sit. My coffee will come on my seat. After 5 minutes, a big fish came. Later on, I came to know that the English word, how much, and the Japanese word, how much, is the name of fish. So I had to eat a fish. Many dangers I had to go through. Another challenge was that I thought, okay, if English doesn't work here, so let me do something else. Let me use the power of body gestures. But it didn't work. It was a reverse effect. One day, what happened? I was traveling in a taxi, and in the journey, I terribly wanted to go to the toilet. And in India, if you show this, it means you want to go to the toilet. Now, it was a big problem. So I tried the power of body language. I said, please. The driver looked at me and he gave me a very dirty look. I thought maybe because it's a very developed country, so I should not tell him to stop in between and I should just get myself relieved. So I thought, okay, let me wait for some time. But because the pressure was building up in my bladder, so again after 5 minutes I said, please. And he really gave me a dirty look. This time he was all red. I thought something is wrong. But again, I wanted to give a try. I said, please. He stopped the car on the hard shoulder, came out. He started shouting at me from outside the car, and I was feeling like I'm a cockroach, who is coming out in the light, and some lady who is scared and just with a slipper in her hand, just ready to stamp. I was so scared. Later on, I came to know that this symbol in India, we say we want to get relief of toilet. In Japan, it means, can you arrange a girlfriend for me? So just imagine that I am telling you, please. And it was all wrong. A very embarrassing situation for me. So I thought now the powerful body gestures are also not going to work. So what should I do? I said, okay, let me rely on their translation to the English, which is very weird. how I faced that challenge? The very first day when I went to my guest room, I went to the toilet and I saw that there is a beautiful commode, but there is no button. So somewhere hidden there was a remote control. I took it out and there were many funny buttons on that. There was a button to control the temperature of the commode from warm to normal to cold. And there were buttons which said the toilet hand spray jet can be adjusted to sharp jet, to a sprinkle jet, to a very soft jet, with a very specific English translation which said, skinny people, be very careful, please get hurt carefully. So this English translation was also a big challenge for me. If you go in a bus and there is an engine, so they will say, engine, very serious place. That means don't touch the engine. If you're walking on the floor which is wet, there will be a stand which would say, slip carefully, floor is wet. It happened, I entered a mall and I wanted to go to washroom. There were 3 rooms. The first one said mailman, second said female, and third was gents. I was surprised. What do you mean, gents? Later on, I came to know from a Japanese interpreter that it was for deformed people. I said, there is no deformed people. They say handicapped people. So challenges were many, and I had to come out of this whole challenge, and I had to spend another 5 months. So what I did, I said something has to be strategized. I cannot rely on my body language, I cannot rely on my English translation, I cannot rely on English words. So I'll share just one of the examples. I started with learning counting first. So the counting is, I'll just tell you, number 1 means ichi, 2 is ni, ichi, ni, san, shai, hachi, ichi, and the other one is nojo. So how I learned by saying ichi on the knee, sun is shining, I go out, I said achi. This is one of the challenge I overcame by learning this with this innovative method. The message which I want to share is that the adventure which I was in every day from the beginning was not that it made me lose somewhere in translation, but I really came to know that what is the true being. That is what the power of adventure was, which gave me power after spending 6 months in Japan. Thank you so much.